This is Dr. Annette Detken, head of InsuResilience Solutions Fund. With a PhD in economics, Annette has focused her career on climate and green finance, developing innovative instruments and programs to harness the expertise of the private sector and mobilizing private capital to foster sustainable development in the global south.
Hello, Annette Detken. Great to have you with us here from Frankfurt. Please share your insights with us.
Congratulations to this great event. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. Now, the event today is dedicated to financing the race to zero. And we've heard about different sources and instruments of climate finance as a precondition, a crucial precondition to achieve the transition to a carbon neutral economy. But we have to be realistic at the same time. We know that this race to zero will not be a spurt. Changing the way we live and we work, actually changing the entire economy will take time. But as has been pointed out already earlier in this event, we don't have time. Climate change is a reality. It is not something of the far future. It's something that is happening today. And it is especially a reality for vulnerable countries. Just to give you an indication what that means for the low-income countries. I hope you can see my screen. So, sorry.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, sorry. Yes, so just to cite a statistic, annual economic losses in low-income countries have been more than 5 times higher than in high-income countries when compared to their respective size of the economy. And the World Bank estimates that every year, 26 million people are pushed back into poverty due to natural disasters. And this means that years, even decades of development benefits are at stake. So what can we do actually to make these countries more resilient against climate risks? We all agree that emission reduction, investment into green energies, investment into adaptation measures are crucial. However, these measures need time, and we don't have time. And this is where climate risk insurance comes in. Climate risk insurance can actually protect vulnerable countries against the impact of climate risks by providing additional funding via insurance payouts that can then be used for disaster relief measures as compensation for lost income of farmers or for lost income after business interruptions. So, although we see all these benefits of climate risk insurance, this instrument has hardly been adopted by vulnerable countries. While 50% of disaster losses are today insured in high-income countries, this number is less than 5% in low-income countries. In order to change that, a global coalition, the InsuResilience Global Partnership, has been established and set up, bringing together more than 95 members of the V20, the G20 countries, the private sector, multilateral institutions, civil institutions, and also academia. The objective of the InsuResilience Global Partnership is to provide access to climate and disaster risk finance, and thus strengthen the resilience of vulnerable countries. Now, in order to achieve that ambition, the initiative, the Global Insurance Global Partnership, has set itself ambitious targets until the year 2025. And just to name two of them, the initiative aims at giving 500 million vulnerable people access to climate and disaster risk instruments until the year 2025. More than that, also 80 vulnerable countries should be able to integrate comprehensive disaster risk finance into their adaptation frameworks, thus, for example, the national determined contributions. And now the question is, of course, how do we move from these targets to action? What are actually the instruments and the support offered under the InsuResilience Global Partnership to achieve these targets by 2025? And one of the programs being set up by the InsuResilience Global Partnership is the InsuResilience Solutions Fund, or short, to make it easier, the ISF, that I'm representing here today. The InsuResilience Solutions Fund is a program funded by the German Development Bank, KfW, in its mandate for the German Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development and managed by Frankfurt School of Finance and Management. We've been set up in the year 2019, and the focus of the program is to leverage private sector know-how and also risk capital in order to develop innovative climate risk insurance products. And here we take an innovative and competitive approach. We invite partners and partnerships from the demand and the supply side to submit concepts for innovative climate risk insurance products. And this aspect of partnership is actually very important to us because we want to make sure that the products being developed address the needs of the policyholder, that is, they're demand driven. And at the same time, of course, these products should be feasible and financially sustainable, such that insurance companies are willing and able to offer these new insurance products in the end. We then select the submitted proposals and offer co-funding, grant-based co-funding up to 2.5 million for the development, the improvement, and finally also the introduction of climate risk insurance products. Now, this has been relatively theoretically, and that's therefore, please let me also introduce a very detailed, specific product that we have just recently selected and will support over the next 24 months in order to develop a climate risk insurance for the state of Nagaland in India.